Welcome to the Grose family edition of our scrambled egg recipe that we'd like to share with you tonight. I want to show you how we make scrambled eggs here at my house. So I'm going to start you through the steps. We start with a carton of eggs. Usually for my family, we use 8 to 10 eggs per recipe. We also use sour cream, salt and pepper, and then we have a bowl for mixing, a fork for whisking, a spoon for scooping, and then we have a wooden spatula and a skillet for cooking. So I'm going to show you what we do. First, we turn on our skillet and we turn it on low, and we put some sour cream into the skillet. You don't want to let your sour cream get too hot or overcooked because it curdles before you get the eggs in there. So this step really has to go pretty quickly. I do a big dollop of sour cream. And then as I'm waiting for the skillet to heat up, I'll go ahead and mix up the eggs. I crack the eggs on the countertop. Or the edge of the bowl. Once I have all the eggs cracked, I'll add salt and pepper either to my bowl or to the sour cream. And then I whisk the eggs in the bowl before combining them with the sour cream. Whenever you mess with eggs or get them on your hands, you always want to wash your hands afterwards. So I'm going to do a quick wash. We're going to get our sour cream spread out just a little bit in our skillet. Then we're going to get our eggs whisked with some salt and pepper. And then we'll be ready to mix. So as I'm whisking the eggs, I'm breaking up the egg yolk, making sure they're all combined. The longer you whisk the eggs, the fluffier they become. Once our sour cream gets melted a little bit, we're going to be ready to add these together. I always like to add my eggs to the sour cream mixture before it becomes straight liquid. It allows me to incorporate my eggs a little bit better. So I pour my eggs straight into the sour cream mix. Make sure I get everything out of the bowl that I can. Once I've done that, I work on incorporating the eggs and the sour cream together just by stirring more with my wrist so that I'm not making a mess around my skillet. And then once I have this stirred up really well, I'll let it sit until the eggs actually start cooking. Once they start cooking, we constantly go back and forth with our spoon or our spatula, whatever you choose to use, to make sure that they don't stick to the pan. So we'll let that cook for just a second while we get our ingredients put away. And then we'll come back to check it. We'll make sure it's incorporated really well. You constantly want to watch your eggs to make sure that they're cooking through. You don't want them to burn and stick to your pan. You also don't want them to be ooey gooey because it's just not healthy. I'm going to turn up my heat just a little bit. And then we just wait for them to cook. Some other recipes that my family likes to do when we're doing breakfast items, we like to do homemade gravy and homemade biscuits with bacon or sausage. Sometimes we make what we call hamburger gravy, which is just homemade gravy with hamburger added to it. This is a special recipe that my family made when I was little that's been passed down from my grandmother. This special scrambled egg recipe is actually my dad's recipe that he likes to share with my kids. And my kids enjoy cooking these eggs. My oldest daughter, who is 11, usually is in charge of these eggs for our morning breakfast. They're almost ready to the point of cooking in the pan. Once these are ready, we like to have them with toast if we're not doing the biscuits and gravy. We just keep mixing until they're ready to go. We're getting there. I don't add too much salt and pepper to the egg mixture because that way we can salt it and add pepper to it at the end if we need more. I'd rather it be less seasoned than over seasoned. And our eggs are starting to form. So this is the point that I want to constantly stir or move it around the pan so that it doesn't stick and burn. We'll have some delicious eggs. So now that the eggs are starting to form, I can tell when they're done when I don't see any moisture on them and they're kind of clumped. I have found that the more sour cream you use in your eggs, the more fluffy they become. It adds a great taste and consistency. Delaney, do you enjoy our eggs?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? You want to introduce yourself to the camera? This is Delaney, and this is my middle daughter.
Hello.
Delaney often likes to help breaking up the eggs and whisking them in the bowl before we put them into the skillet. Our eggs are almost done. Sometimes we like to add cheese to our eggs, right, Delaney? And when they're done, we turn the skillet off. We move it off of the burner. And that's our scrambled egg recipe. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.